For a gospel art, listen, whether you grease your hair or not, your spirit is the most important tool you have. Write that down.
The essence of what we need to do is to rise above mediocrity.
Think like a businessman. Get involved in everything that is happening if you have a record label.
How much quality are you putting in what you do?
So we have to understand the power of social media and leverage on it to be able to create a digital revolution.
Excellence is not the preference, it's the standard of what we represent as Christians.
It is God's responsibility to bless you. It is your responsibility to prosper. God will not do that for you.
Child of God, you and I must command God's essence. See, God's essence, absolute truth cannot be denied.
The power of focus is the new way to get people interested in what you're doing, because so many people don't read anything anymore. It's so sad.
Who are you? What is your brand promise? What do you think and say about yourself? You need to be positive.
It's God's responsibility to bless you. It is your responsibility to prosper, but you can't prosper if you don't have products. Your music is a product. Whatever it is you do, that is a product.
Look, you've got to understand the station format. You want to play a song, is it a beat format? Is it in the beat format? Is it in the Cool FM format? It's a classic format. If a song is coming out today and you want to go to classic FM, it's classic.
What we don't know is that for the gospel artist, your music is weapon. It was as powerful as a gun, as a cannon, as a drone. God saw it exactly the same way he saw a sword, saw a shield, saw a spear, saw your worship.
How many songs? How many of you have your songs on radio, have your videos on TV? Hands up. What did it take? One line. What did it take? Come on. Contacts, right? Contacts. I hear money, I hear contacts and all of that. Okay. I'll just share with you from my own personal experience. From the days I started radio, I've always seen a whole lot of artists come and go. And sadly, in our side of the divide, and by that I mean the ministry, the gospel angle, it is sad and pathetic how we put ourselves forward, how we package ourselves, and how we come. The world has mastered the art of packaging. What my sister talked about, what my brothers here, they have mastered it, and they've left us behind. And the unfortunate thing is that we are meant to be blazing the trail for the world to follow. Fortunately, the man of God has already spoken, said it and put it in context and put it in perspective for us to know how to look. This is a complete package. And in all honesty, that's why I said what I said on whether or not you guys need to know anything. It's all in the packaging. And most importantly, the packaging from God's perspective. If we have an angle of this, if we grab this, the rest is a roller coaster ride. But just so that I will have something to say, at least let me know that something has been said from Onimisi Adaba. Let me go ahead and say a thing or two. In the world we live in right now, a whole lot of things revolve around what our brother talked about on the internet. Your work has got to be there. Whatever you put out, well, not whatever you put out, the quality you put out, quality of work you put out has got to be online. And I'll be honest with you, I'm getting the hang of being online myself. I shy away from all of them, publicity and all of that. But I realize that in this present world, you've got to be there. But it depends on how you package yourself there. So you've got to come to terms and be in tune with the need for you and your works to be on the internet. How easily acceptable or accessible is what you have. Being on air or getting your work on air, it is sad that we have, who was I talking with? I don't know if he's here. He talked about him having his work on air and what we call payola. How many people have heard payola? Where you actually pay the artist to put your work on air. He walked up to me outside and was like, so how much will it cost to bring an artist to your show? And I'm like, what do you mean how much? The guy is good. This is my own perspective. If you are good, your work will sell. If you're good, you wouldn't need to go and look for, where's OJ? Let me give him, make contact. Look, if it's good, it sells. Do you think a Two-Face or some of these big names, do you think they come to me to say, all right, let me give you this to put? No. Aside from the fact that they are known, their works are good. And this is the world we're talking about now. How much more you, backed up by the Father himself, if you spend time in his presence, like the man of God said earlier on, if they are able to get inspiration from, how much more you getting inspiration from the Most High to put something together that the radio station would want to hear any day, anytime. There are people like that. You can be that. Again, like we just heard from Steve Harris, God does his part. You do yours. Follow up your work on air. I'm against giving monies to, I can tell you guys stories from artists who come to me to say, look, I want to blow. How many people remember Style Plus? How many people? Okay, let's keep Style Plus. Jeremiah Gang. How many people remember him? I'll tell you one thing about Jeremiah. I was the first to play his song. It caught like wildfire, and he had to run back to Jos to hide because he wasn't prepared and ready for what happened, the success, because it was explosive. Fantastic work. It had never been heard before. People loved it, and he was all over the place. This is some guy who puts quality in what he does. It got so bad for him at some point that he now started veering off. Fortunately, he realized it and came back in line. And that's why he's still back in Jos, putting out nice gospel pieces. The point I'm trying to make is that he puts a whole lot of quality in what he does. How much quality are you putting in what you do? For you to confidently walk to an on-air personality or a station manager to say, hey, look, I have this piece of material that I think is worth airplay. What we do, what should be done is for a music department to screen your music or to audition your music. If it fits the format, fantastic. And that's what you should know. That's where your work comes in. What kind of songs are you putting out? Yes, it's gospel, but what angle of gospel? Is it reggae? Is it hip-hop? Is it jazz? Is it R&B? Is it class? What is it? What station can it fit in? We have a smooth FM, and then you are a rock artist, and then you take your rock songs to a smooth FM to say, I have an anointed rock gospel music I want on this station. How do you think it will work? That's where your work comes in. You've got to research who is doing what, where. What kind of stations do we have? What are they playing? What shows are on those stations? Who are the on-air personalities on those stations? What functions are going on in the society, or in what events are happening that I can go and network and meet people and talk with people, interact? This is where work comes in for you. It's not the Holy Spirit that will go and do that. It's you. Yes, the gift is yours and all of that, packaged and all. But you get out there, go into events, listen to the radio, get to know on-air personalities. Sadly, like I said, a whole lot of folks collect monies for, they charge for airplay. It is not right. Straight up, I'll tell you, it is not right. It is done right now. Sadly, it is done in my stations, but it is not right. When we were trained, if your work is good, it speaks for itself. That's what we're able to do with them artists back then. Because it just sells itself. Now, an artist, you can decide on your own to be like, hey, look, this guy did a good job in promoting my work. I need to appreciate him. That's a different thing entirely. But for me to come and say, all right, you for your work, I'm going to charge you X amount. It's not right. It's not proper. And if that happens, if your conscience is not right with it, and it shouldn't be, walk away. Because guess what? If you put work into it, backed with God's hand on you, it will sell itself. You will blow. You will blow. So the most important thing is for you to do whatever you have to do. In these days, online, the social media, the internet, the web, it's a whole new world out there. See how you can get to promote your stuff there. One of the other areas that you can get airplay is possibilities of association. Again, this is where being at events really matters. What movies are going on? What are producers doing? Look, in my industry, we're moving on to what they call digitization. It probably might not happen, but we're getting there. And this is where we'll have much more than enough airtime that people will be looking for content left, right, and center to fill up the airspace. This is where producers get to work and get busy, and this is where you come in. How about you producing something that can be a soundtrack to a fantastic movie? That soundtrack is yours. The movie is a hit. We hear the song. We're like, who did that song? And you become the hit. You are blowing. No, it's true. Look, bottom line, is that not what we're all about? I mean, that's what you want. You want to blow. You want to blow. Okay, in an anointed way. Yeah, some nice creative ways of seeing how you can put your works out there. See how you can liaise with producers, movie makers, and see how you can come up with songs, lovely songs, beautiful songs for their movies. So these are a few ways that you'll be able to put your songs out there and get relevance and make your statement, all to the glory of the Father. What is your song saying? Not too much of a good example. Okay, well, in a way like this and like that. I'm a reggae person, and so Bob Marley kind of does me quite well. That guy, he sang his songs way back then. He died way back then. But you put in a Bob Marley song today, it's like, my goodness. How much more you, the believer, who hangs out with the Father, who is meant to be consecrated, you should be able to come out with things that are relevant, that, and like the pastor says, it's not you throwing in Jesus in the song. Jesus here, Jesus. It's not that. What are you saying? What message are you passing? Who are you talking to? Who are you singing to? Whose need are you meeting in the song? That's what it's all about. It's like storytelling. There's never a bad and boring story, but you always find boring storytellers. What are you saying in your song? What else can I say? 10 minutes is up, right? Well, you have a question already.
No, I want to say something so that you will answer us.
Oh, okay.
So are you saying that if our people today come to you with their CDs and with their songs, you will answer them? So just say it. Just say it. Wait first. I just wanted him, while we are all here, let him just say it.
To be honest, your song has to be good. Like I was sharing with, the guy has left, some fair guy. The guy you said you're Egbon.
Yes.
Yeah. He was the one who met me outside. Look, your song has, and I used to tell, and I still tell them if they come my way. I think they noticed and they started dodging me, so they'll just go the back. If you come to me, I'll tell you, look, if your song is good, we'll put it on air. If it's not, I will tell you why it's not. And there are other radio stations there that you can fit it into. If it's not our format, if it's not something weak, look, you've got to understand the station format. You want to play your song, is it a beat format? Is it in the beat format? Is it in the Cool FM format? Is it in classic format? If a song is coming out today and you want to go to classic FM, it's classic, and your song is coming out today, give me a break. So what are the formats we have? If you're coming out with a hip-hop hooray song and you want to go to Tiwan Tiwan or Wazobia, understand the formats and know where to place your songs. Look, it will help you plan. It's going to cost you money. Logistics and all of that, moving around. And yeah, sometimes you pay for the airtime, legally pay for an interview session, especially if you are about to blow. I keep using that word, blow. All right. Especially if you are new in the industry. For sure, nobody will want to pay attention to you. A few people will look at you and, this guy has potential, so let me bring him. But for others who wouldn't, you would want to pay for an interview. We call it live appearance. 15 minutes, 10 minutes. I think some stations have 5 minutes, I think. Pay for the live appearance. It's going to cost you money. Moving from one point to another. You know, so you need to plan your logistics. What stations are there? Who can I talk with? Who are the people involved? From management to the OAPs. Better yet, the OAPs, on-air personalities, because they're the ones who get to play the song. In fact, if you can know the music, the librarian, better for you. Then one other thing you can do, call your friends, especially if your song is there in the stations. Call your friends and ask them to request for it. Hey, look, my name is OJ, and this lovely song you have, I need to listen to a song by XYZ. Can you play it for me, please? Another one calls, hey, my name is Steve Harris, I'd love to listen to a song by this. Another one calls, hey, my name is Pia, I'm here and I'd like to. Of course, they'll be like, how come people are calling for this song like this? Why? Okay, let's play it and see. And before you know it, your song is all over the place. But it better be good. It better be good. Truly. I think that's all I have for now. Thank you so much.